Hello, everybody. Stephen Evans here, and today we're going to talk a little bit about health and wealth. Because one thing, if you make a whole lot of money and you don't have your health, what's it for? If you can't go out and do stuff and experience life and spend time with your grandkids or whatever it is that you want to do, you've got to have your health. You've got to be able to be mobile. You've got to be able to get around. And that is why we're going to start a series with Araceli, and she's with Diverge Wellness. Is that right?
Yes, Diverge Wellness.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, so my name is Araceli, and I formed Diverge Wellness because it's, two paths of choosing your life to where, like Steven said, if you have all this money, but then you don't have your health, then you really can't enjoy, all that time you spent saving it. So there's, the other path where if you take care of your health, for instance, today we're going to talk about mobility. You have that to help maintain strength and stamina so you are able to enjoy all the things that you want to do without having so much pain and being injury prone. So that applies to from youth to aging adults. There's two paths that you can take, and we're going to show you how it's easy to just take that right step or that left step, whichever way you're looking at it, to kind of go down the path where you can be healthy, and it's really not that difficult. So we're here to show you the easy steps.
And as you get older, it's good to stay active and mobile. And it's also, a lot of things that happen to people are falls. So if you can stay mobile and you can stay active and you can stay strong and keep your bones dense, if you do happen to fall, you might not break a hip, because that a lot of people, if they have a fall in their 80s, it's something that takes them down a road that is not the best.
Yes.
So today we're gonna be talking about mobility, because when you're retired, you want to be able to be mobile and get around and move and turn your neck and not get stiff. I mean, the older I've gotten, the stiffer I feel, and like I don't feel like I get unstiff until I go to the gym and work out and like get my stiffness out every day. So we're gonna let Araceli talk a little bit about mobility, and here you go.
Yeah, so I'm going to share my screen really quick. And I just put a little something together, and I can just put myself back on after explain it. But yeah, mobility and exercise is just granting our bodies the right to move the way they should. So, we're when we were born, it was pretty easy to move around. If you look at a toddler, a baby, when they're trying to walk, they squat, their butts go all the way to the ground, their knees, are out. So they have a perfect squat form. When they're trying to crawl, they just have great mobility and range. And we're supposed to be utilizing that the rest of our lives. And most times people, they basically use the path of least resistance because that's the way we're just wired to do so. So today I'm going to show you two things that you can do every morning. You can start applying it now. All you need is a chair to start. So if you're just sitting there, we're going to talk, I'm going to show you the head turns. So the head turns are just great at increasing the mobility of your neck. So as we get older, we start to lose that mobility. So if you notice, the older adults, if you're driving around, you're not able to really look over your shoulder, and that's really important for keeping you safe, as long as keeping the other people on the road safe. So you'll begin to slowly turn your head to one side and then the other side, and it's pretty simple. So we'll go through that, and then body twists. Our thoracic spine gets really tight along with the whole spine of it, and we'll start with placing both palms together and then turning slowly from side to side. And then you'll just notice the increase in mobility just by doing those things. So easy stuff that you can do. Let me go back to the screen. So with head turns, you can just sit, stay seated in your chair. You'll sit up nice and tall, pull the ribs in. You can do this with me while you're watching.
Oh, I'm totally doing it.
And then I want you to go ahead and just look to the side and just notice the spot that you're able to just look at, not forcing anything. You hold it for about 3 seconds or so, come back to center, and then you look over the other way. And the reason we come back to center is because I don't want people, and you can go ahead and come back to center. I want people to just go side to side because as we get older, again, our equilibrium, our hearing, our eyesight starts to fade. So we don't want to get dizzy, and that's what we run into if you just go move your head really quickly side to side. So let's start this. We'll do this a couple times. Take a look over to one side. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Back to center. To the other side. 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Other side. 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Other side. 3, 2, 1. Last time, and I want you to notice, look to the side. Where's your gaze at now? Back to center. Other side. Where's that gaze at now? Back to center. So just a simple thing like that. Did you notice, Stephen?
Oh, I totally, like I could feel the stiffness in my neck. I didn't even think about this as
Yeah.
like something that could go wrong over time, that if you're not stretching that and doing these movements.
Yeah. And it's the same as looking down, up, when you get tightness in the muscles in the neck that happens so often with stress, just looking down and getting a deep stretch. And we can talk about that, over the course of the time. But the next one was the torso twist. So palms stay together. You're sitting at your chair. So make sure you're at the front of the chair. And all we're going to do is, again, just simply point the fingers to one side, again, not forcing it, and then come back to center. And then we'll go to the other side and come back to center. And now, again, to the other side, notice how much already you were able to move.
Yeah.
Back to center. And the other side, back to center. And we'll do that 2 more times. So turn.
You don't realize how stiff you are until you try to do it.
Yeah. Back to center. 1 more time each direction. Turn.
Oh, yeah.
Back to center. And then turn. And back to center.
I could totally do this in my office.
Exactly. Yes. And we'll have, times where we can talk about office stretches to do as well. But yeah, this would apply to all ranges, all ages. And it's just a simple little tool that you can do sitting down, or even I did it standing up. So
I actually feel like looser.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I do. I really like this. I thought that was way better than I thought it was going to be. Like I was like, oh, we're just turning her head, like, but I can actually like feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We definitely need to do one for like office people. I think that'd be a good one. Like things that you can do in your office just every like hour or so, just to keep loose and keep your body moving. Because I sit in a desk chair, I mean, and don't move as much as I should, and you just get stiff.
And I work with a couple clients who do work at desk jobs, and they start forming their back is nice and rounded, and
oh yeah, the rounded shoulders from like typing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that all the time, especially at the gym. I'm like, put your shoulders back because you're beating them, and I see them in kids, like just like from being on the gaming systems or the YouTube too much, or looking at their phones, and like we're all kind of starting to get that roundedness, it seems like.
Yes, and even with school. So at school, they sit down at their desk and they're always, looking down. They come home, they have all this homework, they're looking down. They take a break, they're looking down on their cell phone and playing games. Like it's always all rounded and forwardness. So I'm just creating that flexion and extension both ways so that, you have that mobility. And it's just simple things that you can start young and avoid it as you get older, or you can start it at any age and reverse it as much as possible to get better. Like I said, I was working with a client and their spine was like this, and now it's starting to, straighten out a little bit more. And it's just simple exercises that we do just to strengthen the back area.
Yes, well, like simple little things, do them over time. They really add up.
Yeah. No surgery required.
That's what I want. I don't want surgery.
But you got to really do preventative care. So definitely stay on top of it instead of waiting until, something crazy happens.
Until you're hurt and then you're like, oh, now I've got to fix this problem.
Yeah.
Well, that was really good. I really like that. And I think this is a pretty cool thing. And we're going to continue to do these videos and just kind of build a health series because, one of my things with my clients is, for one, I want to keep you alive. And two, I want you to have a great retirement. And, even to like not retirement, just life. I think people just get caught up in day-to-day stuff and don't focus on their health. And the longer you don't focus on your health, the harder it is to, start up and get going. Cause like I work out every day, and I couldn't imagine like not doing it and starting from scratch. So I really think it's important to just stay active, and just for your overall body, like what it does. We've got at our gym, there's like 70-year-old people that come and work out and they can move.
Yeah.
I mean, there with Greg, he is 60 some odd years old, and that man can beat me. That's tough, and it's wild. But, because of that, he's going to stay active and be able to do stuff for like the rest of his life. And that's hugely valuable, because I have some clients who can't get around. It's really hard for them. And, I feel bad that they, it's hard for them to get around. They've had a couple knee surgeries, and, life can be wearing sometimes.
Yeah.
But we'll do these videos and hopefully give some value to people, and, get you mobile, and, keep you healthy. And I think it'll be a great time.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Stephen. I look forward to doing more videos.
Yeah, thank you. And I think this went real well, and we will talk to you all later. And it's the day that it's snowing, so that's when we're doing this. That's why it's not winter time. It's just snowing in spring.
Sweater time.
Right.